Okay, good evening, class. Uh, it's been a while we met. I'm sorry for last week due to some plans and it did not work out well for us. But that is not really going to be a big deal for us. We'll still continue from where we stop. And I know some persons have been asking, why don't we start implementing JavaScript that we have been learning since? Some persons just want to start implementing and let's be seeing that yes, what we have is actually flowing in. What we have is actually flowing in the web browser. That is just what we want to do. Please, but let's put in mind that an average developer always wants to implement, but at the long run, the average developer will actually give up. Why do we want to implement so that we just start making money? But I always tell people to always put themselves in the shoes of passion before trying to make money with uh, programming. Always fix yourself in the passion aspect. Always fix yourself in the aspect of I am passionate about what I do. I love what I do, regardless the fact that the money is not coming at this point. But I love what I do, and I'm passionate about it. I like it. I always want to code. I always want to program. I always want to see myself with my laptop, always trying to do one thing or the other, trying to grow, trying to learn and other. When you start putting yourself in that shoe, you see yourself learning more. But most people coming into development nowadays are just like, I want to just come in within 2, 3 months. I want to start making money with it because of condition, which I fully understand for some. But as always, when we fix ourselves in the money aspect in development in programming, we will never get the best of programming. But when we fix ourselves in the aspect of I love what I do, I want to grow with it, I am passionate about what I do, we will always see the aspect of growth in our front, not the money. We always see the aspect of I want to learn new things, I want to grow, I want to develop myself, I want to learn new skills, I want to be the best in what I do. That is the way we always see ourselves. So I urge all of us trying to ask when we are going to enter dorm and all that is good, but the best aspect is what we are doing now, which we might not see the clearer picture. But for those that have been practicing with what we have been doing all the while, we always see the best part of it. So let's recap and let's see what we have done on our previous class. Please always write algorithms. Look for platforms. I think from next week, I said I will send a platform that we can be using to write algorithms. Always give yourself tasks. Always write algorithm. Sorry, I've not been giving tasks because of uh I'm so busy lately with my company tasks. Uh, but notwithstanding, I'm still trying my best to see that I give out knowledge. I pass knowledge to people that are ready to learn. So, guys, let's just go to this. Okay, we stopped at array method, and we did a lot with array method in our previous class. And today is another day to see some things we can still engage ourselves with. So, So where we stopped last, we stopped at looping. And we can see I explained between each type of loop, when to use the for loop, when to use the while loop, when to use all that and all that. And we have talked about splice. I told us about splice. Splicing actually does a whole lot. Splice method in array is one of the best method you can ever think of. It actually does a whole lot for a programmer. The method is actually wonderful. Uh, like I said in our previous class, it does things like editing, things like uh adding, things like that is inserting, removing, that is deleting and all that. So it actually helps you, virtually your crude method read, create, so it actually helps us in our crude method, delete and all that. So if you are going to really go well in with using array, you actually need to consider the splice method. You actually need to consider it now. And I believe in our last class, if you missed uh if you missed our previous class, you can still go and watch it and get the full understanding, the full picture of what we have spoken about, or what we have played around with in the splicing method. So, guys, I will not really be going deep in it. I just want to refresh our memory that we did something like this or something pertaining to this. So, I just want to refresh our memory about it so that we'll get to know that yes, we did something like this. And we have talked about the slice method. I think, yeah, we did the slice method in our previous class also. The slice method. Yeah, we did the slice method. I can still remember we did the slice method. Yeah. And we did the Sorry, I've not been sharing my screen. I was thinking I'm sharing. Okay, let me start sharing. Sorry, I was thinking I'm sharing my screen. So we did a slice method. I think so. Like, yeah, I remember we did such. Yeah, that we talked about it very well. You can to get the full knowledge of the slice method. No, I don't think, okay, we did not do the slice method. We stop at the splice. Okay, when we did the slice method was in strings. We did our slice method in strings, not here. So we'll start from the slice method and we'll try to see how far we can go today. So these are things we'll just try and see or filter the map for each. And I'll try to explain the differences of all this method and so that you guys can get a full knowledge of what we are going to be working with. Also, put in mind, practice is what makes programmer perfect. What we are doing now is just like educating you, but practice is what makes you a perfect developer. If you skip the practice method, if you skip practicing, you will definitely not going to be a programmer. The starting point of a programmer is always practicing. When you are starting in programming, you always practice. Even people that have gotten to the best part of their life in programming, they feel that, yeah, we are doing a whole lot now. They still have time, at least once a while, to practice. I think most times, even the bug you get makes you to practice. Because when you get a bug, you have to go and start making research, start trying to know how to do that, trying to get the proper correction and all that. So people that have gone far a whole lot are still in the game of practicing, are still in the game of developing themselves. So we are not exempted from that. As a beginner, as those coming up in programming, the best part of our life is trying to practice what we have gotten and what we have done, and trying to see Other aspect is when you have a mentor, you try to ask as much questions as possible. When I was learning programming, I always ask questions like, if like, let them laugh at me, but I don't care. That is my slogan. I don't care. Any question that comes into my mind, I ask, whether stupid or not. The main fact is, for me to have that boldness to ask that question, that means I don't have the understanding or the full understanding. I need clarity. So that is one big part we must always put in our mind. Always ask question. We are lucky at this point of our life that we have so many helper tools, so many AI that can help us solve problems. But put in mind, if you are always going to AI, if AI is your go-to, you want to write this AI, you want to write that AI, you want to write this AI, you will never be a good programmer. You want to write AI, you want to write this function AI give me this, AI give me that, AI do this, AI write this one for me. They give you a project maybe in your workplace, and next thing you do, you copy everything and paste it on AI write everything for you. You are prone to bugs, and you'll never be a good programmer. You'll never be able to solve problems. You'll never be able to think. So AI is like a support, not to do the work. So AI is there to support developer that always give it to AI to do the work. You will never be a good programmer. You will never know how to think. You will never have that problem mindset, problem solving mindset. You see a challenge. Oh, what are the steps? What can I do? How will I start? What is my roadmap in getting this solved? All those things will not come into your mind. You will just be involved in just, okay, copy and paste on AI. That is not going to be uh, the mindset of a good programmer. But getting to know it for yourself, getting to know it perfectly, knowing when to use this, knowing when not to use it, know when to use this function or not, or know when not to use the function, is going to be the mindset of a programmer, not waiting for AI to do it. So, not to waste much of our time, I'll just go into what we have for today. I'll just rush it. And I believe the way I'm looking at it, we are going to go far today. So, the slice method that we are looking at, that we are going to be starting with today, does similar stuff like the slice in strings. So, the way you can slice a string is the same way you can slice an array. So, like I say, put more attention in array, strings, and objects, because there is no way as a programmer in JavaScript you're going to escape these stuffs. Maybe add numbers, add boolean. But you see, these stuffs I mentioned to you now, there is no way as a programmer you are going to like jump jump them to anywhere. You will definitely be involved in your daily activities. You definitely be involved in writing them, always, always, always. You definitely be involved in writing them, always. You will never miss out in writing them. So put that in mind. Excuse me. So just put that in mind, that this is very, very important. This is what's very, very important. So the slice method helps us in like separating or dividing an array into two separate parts and getting one for yourself. Now, the same way we explain this slice method in string, if you get that explanation, you are already one step ahead in slice in array. So now let's just read through the JavaScript. They say the methods array dot slice is much similar than this is similar much similar than a similar looking array dot splice. Okay, just like array does splice, but array does splice does a whole lot than slice. So I'll prefer we look back to strings, slice and strings. So let's read. It returns a new array copy. That is why I said it's you can use that understanding I just gave you now. Like it divide an array into two separate parts and return one for us, which is what they are just saying. It returns a new copy, a new array to it all item from index start to end. So now you get that word from index start to end. So it's not returning the full array. It's returning where you want it to start to where you want it to end. So that is what it will be returning for you. So on that basis now, it has divided the array into two separate parts. So what you are just doing, you're just taking one part of it, the part you want to take off, not the part that the computer or the program wants to give to us. You are taking the part that you want to take off. So now let's continue. So that is it in Arido's slides. So let's just do something with it. Let's just see what we can do with it. So I have this let me just get rid of this. If you want to get it, just go to our previous class. Let me just see. So we'll just okay. Now I want to let new norm system equals to norm dot slice. So if I want to use now, like I said in our previous class, everything you are dealing with array mostly is indexing, and indexing starts from zero. You are not starting from one, counting from one in array, you are counting from zero. So the first number there is zero. The second number there, which is two, is one. The third number, like the indexing, the positioning, that's what I'm talking about. So the positioning counts from zero. So if you want to get index three, so index 3 now in the length is the fourth number. You get. So that is it. So now if when we are talking about slice now, we are using the index. So I want to slice from 0 down to 2. So let's see 0 down to 2, and let's run our code. Uh console.log new. So I'm running this code now for us to see. Uh, um, so you can see now we have is one and two instead of one, two, three, four, five. So it creates a new array with the supposed content we want to fix in. So that is what slice method does for us. It creates a new array with the supposed content we want to fix in. So it creates a new array and add the content from the index point of from the starting index point to the ending index point, depending on where you want how you want it to be. So that is that for slice method. So whenever you let's take for instance, let's see a scenario. What scenario would I give to you guys now? Let's take for instance, uh, since it creates a new array, let me show you guys something. Console.log. So you can see that we still have our major array and the new array that was created. So now let's take for instance, we have, okay, like prison section. Let me use that word, a prison section, a prison database. Let me use that word, prison database. Now, in the prison database, we'll definitely have all all prisoners in one full database. All prisoners. We definitely have all prisoners in one full database. We definitely have from day one down to day 100. We definitely have all the prisoners that are in both those that are in the prison, both those that have died maybe by hanging, both those that have been vindicated and given bail, granted bail, and others. As far as you have entered the prison in one way or the other, there is a database just like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an array. So it represents a full blue database. Now, let's take for instance, we want to filter out those that have died. We want to create a new array for them. We want to create a new database for them. So a splice method can work for us at that point. Separating, creating a new array, creating a new database that will hold those prisoners that have died maybe by hanging or whatsoever. So that is that for us. That is that for us. That is what we are going to be looking at. So with that now, the slice method can come in and just do its magic for us and get a new array for us. And we can just push that to a new database. So that is that in terms of slice. So let's go to the next one. The next one is concatenating, concatenation. The meaning of concatenation in every programming language is not that it's for only JavaScript or is for only in every programming language, both in HTML or anyone you want to call. Concatenating is the same. Concatenating is the same. Where you concat in JavaScript is where you concat in Java. Concatenating is the same. So you can concatenate. I think except for some language or some street language, that concatenating can still look somehow different. Language like Rust, concatenating looks somehow different. So, but it's still the same idea, but the implementation is somehow different. So the way we concatenate in array is bringing two, like joining two array together, joining array A to array B and making it to form one big array is concatenation, concatenating, joining. So let's read the method array dot concatenate creates a new array that include values from the other arrays and additional items. So it accepts any number of arguments, either array or value. The result is a new array containing items from array, then argument one, argument two. It is an array, then its elements are copied. Otherwise, the argument itself is copied, for instance. So now you can see it copying this to this, adding this to this, whichever way concatenation is bringing two or two or more contents together. So let's just look at it. So it's either you use the concat argument method, or you can use of any method you want to use. So let's concatenate this. Let me let's excuse me, guys. So guys, let's continue. So now let's concatenate. Um, Let me concatenate data and numbers together. So let's see new state equals uh, so there must be an initial just like the concatenate method says, the array that you want to add stuff to and the argument arrays. So we'll use data as the first array dot concatenate. They want to add num to it. So this is it. So let me console.log new state. So you can see we have num and we have one, two, three, four, five. So you can see that we actually added everything here and everything here, but this is the major array, then this is the argument array. So we can still add multiple argument array. I can still add this, comma this, as many as you want. I can still add that array stating uh, L, comma O. I can still add this, and let's see. So you can see we have this one we added, and we have N and O at the end. So that is what uh, uh, a concatenate method does for us. It brings two or more arrays together, but one is the major array, then the others are argument arrays. And so I think that explains what we want to talk about in arrays, in concatenating of arrays. So there are still some couple of easy way we can concatenate array. I'm going to show you guys now. This easy way that you can just I don't think I can't remember last I wrote concat array.concat in my program. I can't remember last. Because there are some easy way you can just use now. Stuff like spread method, spread syntax, stuff like the plus sign. Let's just see them. Let's just see them. Let me just comment on this so we know we have this. And let me just so now instead of this, I'll just pull out this and just use the plus sign. Now let's see if we're going to get the same stuffs that we plan getting. So let me run the method again. So you can see we still were able to get this. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, so let's concatenate it together. So that is it. But for me, I majorly use the spread method in my concatenation. I majorly use the spread method. The spread method solves my problem very fast. So I can't remember last I used the plus method or I use the concat method. I can't remember last. So you can see we have been able to add everything together. Uh, so let's see. I want to check something. If this is an array, after doing this is array dot is array. Okay, the plus method gets the details, but it's not an array. Okay, so the plus method concatenate details, but it's not an array. So now let's use the plus method, sorry. Let's use the spread method. So the spread method now, what does it do for us? Now I'll just create a parent array and just spread what we have here. These three dots means spread. Not only in array, in object you can see use your spread. I think I thought about that. You can still use the spread method. So simple to use. So let's see. Let's run this. So you can see that it still gave us what we are looking for, a spread method. So as many array you want to spread, okay, let me just drop this one like this, and let's see. So you can see it has added it without, but if I'm spreading it now, it's carrying the value. You can be seeing it's carrying each of those values and placing them inside the parent array we just created. So that is that for this. So let's go to the next, the for each. We have the for each, the the index of and last index of acts the same way as that of the string method. So we have the find index, find filter, we have the map, and we have so many functions. We might not be able to go through all of them today, but put in mind by Thursday we are going to try as much as possible to finish to be done with array. I'm going to try as much as possible to be done with array. So probably by next week we might just start going into DOM to start implementing our knowledge in. But I see some couple of things I might like to explain, but because of time's sake, we are behind. We have actually gone past the actual month we are supposed to stay. So we will just go through DOM, and once we are done with DOM, we'll go through React. Then I think that is where we are going to stop. So let's continue. So the first one we are going to look at is the for each method. I think so. When we are done with the for each, we will now go to, but I think we're going to stop at the for each. So what does the for each method does for us? It helps us in looping. Now it helps us to loop through our array. Now, but one key fact, I would love to explain the for each and the map so we get to understand it, because these two are very, very crucial. Like you need to really understand them and when to use each of them. Some persons might have been in programming for like 1 year, but they don't know when to use the map. They don't know when to use the for each, though they are similar. You might just look at it, is there anything there? But all of them have their unique experience for programmers. So the more you use them, the more you get to, not the more you even use them, the more you pay attention to their details. Because there are so many people that are using them, but they don't know what they're using them for. They just okay, I need to look through. I'll use for each. I need to look through, I'll use map. But what is the significant difference between them? Most people don't still know about it. So guys, We talked about slides. Uh, we talked about slides. We talked about splice. About concatenating. So I think we'll just stop here. I don't really like want to bug you guys with a whole lot in a video, so you can just go through it without having much stress. So because when we bug you guys like 2 hours, 3 hours videos, and at the end of the day, you not see a whole lot. Which one do you want to practice? So I think we'll stop here today. So we'll just stop here, and you guys will have the opportunity to go back and practice the ones we did today, the two methods we talked about today. So if you're having any question and you have opportunity to join the class, you can ask your question. Okay, guys, if there's no question coming in, thank you guys for joining. See you guys on Thursday.